For a majority of my late teenage years, I've been fascinated with getting absolutely terrified, which is something I'll never get bored of, even if it's overdone. As long as maestros of the genre keep finding new ways to scare and disturb me, I'll be satisfied. I can't help but wonder why I like horror so much. Maybe it reflects something that other genres just simply can't. I'm not sure, but I do know that it was the spooky season and we have a fresh new world. A world of horrors, you could say. World of Horror, or Kifu no Sekai, is a role-playing video game that takes place in Shirakawa, Japan. In this game, the player must explore various locations and fight otherworldly creatures in order to halt the apocalypse. The gameplay form seems to be Call of Cthulhu RPG-esque, which is part of why the game is so unique and underground, as well as the copious amounts of references to Japanese horror around urban legends, with influences from Junji Ito's body horror and H.P. Lovecraft's cosmic horror, which is constantly looming. The game tells the story in one of the first cutscenes you see when you start playing. City of Shirakawa, Japan, 1980X. Something strange is happening in our town. Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new unknown threats. Old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth eons ago, are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and your dwindling insanity, you investigate mysteries across the city and in realms beyond. An old train slows down and stops at its last station. The end of the world is at hand, and you finally arrived in the Doom Town. After seeing the beginning cutscene, you're moved into a character selection screen where around 8 playable characters can be chosen from. However, when you start, you only have around 5, which are Kiri Sato, a female transfer student who is probably the most normal character in the entire game. She starts with a random spell and is connected with the spiritualism around Shirakawa. Could the reason ghosts are following her be the reason behind all the weird events in this town? Ako Takahashi. If you like tomboys, I would highly recommend the swimming captain, where she starts out with a combat speed bonus. Barely surviving when a ghost of a drowned man kept her underwater, she is determined to solve this mystery. Haru, no last name. Okay. Haru is a doomer and a Yakuza driver, which made me realize that he's a 25-year-old and is allowed inside a school building. Anyway, he starts off with cigarettes, which leads to a nicotine withdrawal and hard knock. Robbing that old abandoned manor was a mistake. With his friends dead and mutilated, an vengeful horror chasing him, no speed is too high. Mizuki Hamasaki is an e-girl. I can't describe it any other way than her big ego energy. She's a teen idol, and she randomly starts out with a random ally, which is really useful in early game. What a strange world we live in, where defeating an ancient evil is the easiest way of boosting your career. Koji Tagawa, or his alias Junji Ito, is a teenage photographer and one of the most useless characters because he starts with a camera. A picture is worth 1,000 words. The government won't sweep this one under the rug. You can unlock the other 3 characters by doing 3 achievements: World Saved the Second, Soft Side, and Sweater Girl, which I will leave a guide in the description. After your character is chosen, you choose between your old god for the playthrough. You have The Thing from Stephen King, any peepers in chat, a book on Arsonists 101, and my absolute favourite, a giant spider god. Yay. The gameplay loop of World of Horror involves around 3 things: investigation, combat, and problem solving. During the investigation phase, the player is free to select a location in Shirakawa, or taken to a special mystery-specific screen. In either case, selecting a location will investigate the area that is highlighted, or you'll trigger a random event or combat encounter in Shirakawa. The player may also go to special locations such as the shop or schoolyard instead of investigating to do certain actions such as buying items or recruiting allies. In the combat phase, you'll face an enemy in the combat screen. The combat is turn-based and you can take multiple actions per turn until your sequence bar is full.
During your turn, you have 4 actions: offensive, defensive, support, and spiritual. Each type has 8 general slots and 2 special slots for enemy-oriented actions. Not all slots will be filled, but like I said, you have a certain action you can take. During the problem solving, you have several mysteries within the investigations that you can solve, mostly oriented around boss fights and how to deal with them, since each investigation has more than one ending. Solutions go from beating your computer/phone router to, I shit you not, pulling someone's life support. I love this game. Alright, we've gone through the story, the characters, the villains, along with the gameplay, but this isn't a spicy video without finding meaning. World of Horror connects to this weird feeling where you know someone is always watching you. Whether it's your family watching you because they care about you, people that probably will never know you but still have that fantasy of making up a cadaver of yourself. Or whatever it may be, having someone or something watching you is terrifying because when you're watched, it's either because of several things. They want you, they want to kill you, they want you to join something insane, something bigger than you that you can't comprehend that wants to destroy everything you ever knew. Finally, something familiar that you know and treasure that wants to keep you the same. Keeping you a cadaver of what you were and what you are. This feeling of being watched all the time is what World of Horror symbolizes and creates through Junji Ito's body horror and H.P. Lovecraft's cosmic horror. For the combination of these two types of horror, something new is created, which I think is so terrifying and amazing. Super Eyepatch Wolf said in the video that people think horror is subpar or less than. I think the opposite is true. It's one of the better media that exists. Sure, it's funny or stupid and it can just be cathartic, but it's also one of the most creative and connecting media that you can experience if you can just delve into the meaning and experience it. If you're looking for a game to play this Halloween, I would highly recommend World of Horror. If you're looking to get scared, paranoid, and utterly freaked out with the top tier pixel art that just makes you want to shit your chair, I would highly recommend it. Thumbs up from me. See you later. Much love.